Here's a list of 50 beautiful and talented black women in 1 minute. Let's go. Naomi Campbell, Tiana Taylor, Megan Thee Stallion. She better come back soon or I'm going to go back to reading you misogynistic mother. Both of them. Both, and I can't stress this enough, of them. My Lord and Savior, Bell Hooks, Angela Bassett, Joannie Johnson, Timms, Bree Runway, Marseille Martin, Michelle Ndegeocello, Queen Latifah, Lauryn Hill, Coco Jones, Lizzo, Zora Neale Hurston, Janet Jackson, Tank of Tank and the Bangers, Toni Morrison, Grace Jones, Khalees, Rihanna, Tenariel, Cheryl Lee Ralph, Quinta Brunson, Ari Lennox, Issa Rae, Monica, Keke Palmer, Flo Milli, Dominique Jackson, The GOAT, Missy Elliott, Her, Miss Dorothy Dandridge, Pam Grier, Sade, Brittany Griner, Brandy, Normani, Doechii, Danielle Brooks, Donna Summers, Aaliyah, Jennifer Lewis, Tracy Chapman, Nina Simone, and the legend Miss Whitney Houston.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Cannabis Closet Podcast. You are about to get highly educated with the Cannabis Closet Podcast with CannaQueen and MJ. I'm CannaQueen. That's MJ over there. Hi. This is an adult content show with no limitations on subject, language, or actions. Opinions, views, and expressions may or may not be that of the hosts, their guests, and their subsidiaries. Please note that we are not medical physicians, we're not doctors, we're not attorneys, and any information that is shared is based solely on our research and knowledge. Thank you for joining us today. Thanks for rolling up and showing up. What's up, everybody? What's up, little Bobby Customs? If you are on Instagram with me right now, check out solo.to/cannabiscloset420. And that's where all the links are. We're on Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch. So we'll see you over there.
What up, everybody?
What's up?
Thanks for joining us today.
Yes. Oh, it's a good day.
Hope everyone had a good love day.
Every day is a love day.
Every day is a love day. Yesterday was the commercialized day, but
yes,
hope you were able to take a minute and celebrate the ones you love. If you don't already, do it daily. Cousin, I know you said I saw that you cooked a fantabulous dinner for your queen, my favorite cousin.
We did
some lobster.
Wow. We did some Valentine-y stuff. We usually make fun of Valentine's Day. We're usually like, this is kind of dumb that there's this Hallmark holiday to celebrate love or whatever. Like, we should celebrate it every day. So from the beginning of our relationship, sometimes we would get each other some, like, a little gift, but always we would in the beginning, we don't eat out at places like this anymore, but not so often. I can't say never. We still do eat out. But we would go to like Taco Bell, and then, but we would dress like really nice, like to the hilt nice. I'm in heels. Okay. And we would bring in our setup. So we would get like a sparkling something, whatever. Sometimes like a blood orange juice or like an apple cider, something like that. So we get a sparkling something. We would have like little glasses, and then we would have like little fake candles. And we have, you know that picture that's the bottle that's sitting on my kitchen counter with the roses in it. That is from our setup. That's from our Valentine's setup, where we would go mock Valentine's Day. And then we would go and we would no wait, order a bunch of fucking food, like no wait at a fast food restaurant on Valentine's Day. 'Cause how dare you? And so we would go and like no wait and get the food. And then we would set up our setup, and then we would have somebody take pictures of us. Like we were on like a real date, which we were.
Which you were, yeah.
It was so much fun. We had so much fun. And silly stuff. Like one time we went to the mall. One time we went to the food court in the mall.
A friend of mine, or well, I mean, he's my friend now, but when we were dating, we would go to hospital cafeterias.
That's so. Because why not?
There were a couple that had really good ones in Tampa.
I gotta tell you, in a you know, in a dating scenario, so in a dating scenario, when you're like, you know, learning about each other, or just met, do not you dare think about fast food as that option. But like, we've been dating for a while, and then Valentine's Day rolled around for our first one, and I was like, this is real dumb.
So stressful. I just remember it being so stressful, like money and getting them whatever, and expectations. And it's like, and then the expectation, if you didn't get it right, and then it just ruined. It was like, no.
So, but also, like, we got each other gifts. But then we would like, but I was just like, listen, I don't need to wait 5 hours to eat. That's honestly, it's not a good idea to make me wait 5 hours to eat. So why don't we do this instead? And it was just fun. It's like dressing up and going to like Dave and Buster's or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
It's just fun to do something different.
Yeah. And it was our thing. It was our thing too. Yeah. And then we could pick like a different place every time. So yeah, we had fun with it. But we also like, you know, check the boxes.
Puzzles and candy.
I
love puzzles. Yeah, I love puzzles.
I like it. Do something different. Be creative. Do like something memorable. And then you have a thing. Like, only with somebody that you think you're gonna last with, though. Don't do that shit with somebody that's gonna be, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody that's your person. You know?
Yeah. Lil Bobby Customs with his perfect steaks and lobster better than the restaurants. So, I mean, there's that option too. It's like, yeah, don't again, everybody going out to eat on a holiday is crazy town. In this economy. Crazy town. And then on top of that, people just want to sit, and then they don't think about the people that are behind them. And it's like, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Like, keep it moving. You know, I just think about, because working, you know, being that, thank goodness I don't have to be in there anymore. God. But the service industry, working it is the worst.
Y'all be nice to service industry people. Like, fuck you if you're not nice to service industry people.
You deserve food to be dropped on your lap if you're not
Straight up, like, hot food, followed by cold water because we don't want you to burn.
Yeah, and it, I can't help the situation because I tripped over, you know, my own foot, and it just happened to slam the cream pie into your face. Oops.
Like don't do that. Like, just don't do that. We have a fucked up system for service industry in this country where they don't even get paid minimum wage, and then you come in with your demanding self. Just stop. And I've been demanding in a restaurant too, but just like, you know what I'm saying? Just don't take it out on the fucking person. You know what else too is we always say something. We always got something to say when we get bad service, but we don't never approach the manager and say something when we get great fucking service.
I do. And my sister does. I do
it all the time. Like, that was the best service I've ever had, and don't lose that person. That person is amazing. You know what I'm saying? Because they know they of course hear all of the complaints, and they don't get paid enough to care about how you feel.
Yeah, there was I read a post or something like that where you know, dude like listed out the whole thing. He's like, server gave me and my son the best, went through, you know, explained how she took care of them, and then, you know, he watched a mom and two daughters come in, and the mom was mad from the beginning and was just And he's watching this whole thing, and nothing the server could do was going to make her happy enough. And so his server comes over. He's like, "Will you call your manager over for me?" And she kind of looks at him, and she does. And the manager comes over, and he's like, "Listen, my girl's great. She's amazing, and she's awesome." And the manager's like, "Thank you so much. Thank you." And he's like, "In about 5 minutes, that woman over there is going to tell you otherwise, because she can't, be happy. And so I just want to let you know what's
Perfect.
up."
I love
And he's like, the color drained out of the bitch's face, and
like what color she had.
lost all her steam, and was whatever. And
Yeah.
he's like, "I tipped her extra. We go back there, whatever." And it was just a great, like, people see you, and some people will put their head down and ignore you and think that they shouldn't acknowledge your behavior. And then in this day and age, people will call you out for that behavior.
Yeah. They'll
And
video it.
they will video it.
They'll video
So we all have our bad days. We've all had our moments. We have a guacamole situation like that. And so
just don't let your bad day make you a bigot or a racist or a xenophobe or any of those things. Like if your bad day makes you any of those things, that's what you are. I said it. That's what you are. So today we just have we're catching up on some headlines. I've been wanting to really talk about a few of these stories for a little while, and I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like we keep building onto them.
There's more and more. I've got like three extra ones.
And it's still February, and it's already February 15th. I feel like we did get through all of the ones previously, and we did just not that international one.
I have did we? I don't know that we talked about did we get into these stories? I don't think we talked about them. I think we said we were going to get into, did we? The CBD and CBC? I don't remember.
That was you and me. No, that was me and you. But hey, we're jumping ahead of our show notes. Let's get back to the beginning. Let's start at the very why is CannaQueen mad today?
I'm sorry. Listen.
I know you're excited and you're ready, and you're like you messaged me at like 2 minutes before 3:00, and you're like, "I'm ready." You're like, "I'm ahead of schedule." I was like, "Well, I'm about 45 minutes behind." So.
I've been ready because I don't know. I took a little nap, and I was going to take a little longer, and then I was like, "You can't. You've got to get up." And I wasn't really tired. I just kind of rested because I had like a stressful conversation that I can't really talk about publicly right now. But I had a stressful conversation this morning. It really stressed me out. Yes, and it is stressing me out. Like the whole situation is stressing me the fuck out. So anyways, that's all I can really say about it. I'm sorry. I apologize for being so vague, because I know that we really do try to be fully transparent about everything, but some things got to be like, mine.
Well, no, and the gist of it is that something you saw spiked your adrenaline and your fight, like your like fight and flight responses, and there's nothing that you can do.
There's nothing. There's nothing I can do because it's not mine to do anything with.
Right. But being that said, yes, a nap. So I was like, a nap is in order when you're when you spike like that, and then the come down. Like, you do have to take a second to let your body acclimate or reset almost.
Yeah, and also not for nothing, but I feel like I've been punched in my very lower gut, and so that really is fun, and
Yay!
And so,
in the sense of you're talking about your monthly punch in your gut,
yes,
or in your vagina.
So yeah, and we did our trigger warning. So gentlemen, hold on tight. But this feeling goes from like just below, like just below your actual stomach and gut. So it's just like below there. So in this area in your pelvic region, it feels like you got punched really fucking hard, like on every day for like
Right.
3 to 7 days, 5 to 7 days, whatever. And that feeling goes all the way down into your whole situation. It'd be like if your balls hurt.
Right. That's
From,
what I was gonna say.
yeah,
From getting hit. So,
my
but
balls
yeah.
hurt.
Yes, we have talked about this. Okay.
We got muted for this because Tiffany, we
Yeah.
played that YouTube
Yeah.
Tiffany Haddish clip.
Yeah.
So I promise you this feeling right here makes me want to hit on men in a different way anytime that they say stupid shit. Like, what are you bringing to the table? Bitch, the fact that you still get to live every day is what I'm bringing to the fucking table right now. Like, I'm gonna need you to stop. You know what I'm saying? So,
Not murdering you.
Listen, I've not been asked that question because they're not they're not insecure, inconsiderate men in my situation. But
Right.
I know women that have been, and I'm going to need y'all to stop having the audacity to ask women that question. I'm going to need y'all to stop having that audacity because there's so much that women do. And they do it through a lot of pain, a lot of times. So,
yes, right. So I'm going to lead this into, I'm going to I'm going to adjust. We'll go back to why CannaQueen's mad, but this rolls into our Black History, Female Women History Month or Day. And that highlights Mary Beatrice Davidson Kenner. And she actually, I was looking at her her biography, and she actually holds, I think, the most patents for a Black woman, for a woman of color. And but to note, and why I'm bringing this up, is that she created. There you go. Are you reading off the post? Okay. Having successfully filed 5 different patents throughout her career while also owning and operating a series of burgeoning florist businesses in Washington, D.C., Mary Beatrice Davidson Kenner is one of the most fascinating figures of the 20th century ingenuity. Her 3 best-known inventions are still used today by millions of people across the world, and we should all be grateful for them. Before there were tampons or modern menstrual pads, there were sanitary napkins. Y'all, that's what they were called. These were absorbent pieces of cloth, but there was no good way to attach them to the location of period emissions beyond stuffing them into your underwear. So, that all changed in 1957 when Mary Kenner filed a patent for the sanitary belt. This would hold the sanitary napkin close to your body in a way that maximized comfort and absorption, and it changed the game for menstruators worldwide and led to the later invention of the maxi pad.
Can we pause for a minute and just holla at the person who wrote this?
Yes,
it changed the game for menstruators worldwide, not women. Okay, people who menstruate. This is it very for. Anyways, continue. Sorry, I apologize.
This is someone from the Black Wall Street Facebook page. If you guys don't follow them, check it out. They post history that's amazing. That, you know, when we're talking about this is our history, this is American history. They do a really good job of highlighting people that you would never know, about had you not read this. So, Kenner was also behind 2 more incredibly useful inventions: the toilet paper dispenser.
Thank you.
And the walker. So walkers allowed cane users mobility, to experience a whole new dimension of support and mobility, while toilet paper dispensers just made the bathroom experience more clean and efficient for everyone.
Of course it
And
did.
again, this is from blackwallstreet.org, or they have a Black History books. You can go to their blackwallstreet.org/books and pick up information to educate yourself.
Yes. You know, Cheryl had the other day, she had the flashcards, the Black History flashcards, which I really, really, really have been wanting. And so I'm gonna have to go find those and order those because I've really been wanting those.
It will probably come up on your page
now that I've
because
said that, yes,
because
absolutely.
I've seen them before come through, and they do releases of them.
Right.
And so I think you can. I think we may even be following their page through one of our things. Anyway, because I've looked at them before, and they put them out in batches, and if you get them, you get them, and then they'll release another set. So
yeah.
I
just want to say that first of all, those are amazing inventions, and without those inventions, we wouldn't have what we have today. It's all a process. I mean, sanitary napkins.
Her first invention was she began inventing at the age 6, trying to invent a self-oiling door hinge. At 6, she was
like, I can't keep oiling this door,
and I can't hear that.
Yeah, no, me neither.
Her father was an inventor. He patented a clothes presser that could fit in a suitcase. So in 1914. And in 1980, her sister invented Family Treedition, a family board game.
Huh.
So a family of inventors, 100%.
Love that.
Her grandfather was one as well. Robert Frumberger, her maternal grandfather, his most notable invention was a tricolor light signal for trains and stretchers with wheels for ambulances.
Thank you to that whole family. Keep making more babies, because these are the individuals you want to have. I can't stand for somebody to look at me and go, "Don't you want to pass down your legacy?" Listen, sir. No, we're not. I don't know why. No offense to y'all, but I don't know why y'all think you're that important. I mean, you are important. You're important to us, but like as a worldly thing, if that's your reason, I'm gonna get canceled. Shit.
Listen to these assholes. Good thing
I wasn't really all that popular. Okay, go ahead.
So in 1957, the Sonat Pack company heard about her invention and contacted her, intending to market it. But of course,
I can't stand it.
When they discovered she was Black, they declined.
And then they went and reverse engineered it and took credit for it or some shit.
She held the patent on it, so I mean, there's that.
So they were like, "Can't touch it. Can't touch this." Do.
And
good. Holler.
Yeah, and that is Mary Kenner. She lived a very long life, 1912 to 2006.
Wow.
So she only recently just left us.
Sorry. I'm just my situation is falling apart.
Your situation. Okay, so with that, is it because of the snow? Is that what is it making you mad?
I have a couple things to be mad about. The one thing that like I can't really talk about is a little bit irking me. But the snow is really pissing me off. But
you're gonna love it in the summer.
I know that, but I wish that I didn't have to. I wish that I didn't have to be here for it. I wish that I wish that I didn't have to like. I wish that I could be on the beach and like naked and like
Goals.
smoking a blunt and I'll put on a top to come on the air for a minute and I'll just send emails from the beach while the waves just crash in and beautiful people jog past me in this like ambition to keep that body, and I'm just laying there like, well, just like rubbing my belly. Just laying there rubbing my belly, just whatever. You run, sweetheart.
Summer home.
I
mean, winter, summer home.
Winter
home.
Yeah, I need a winter. I need a winter home for this. That is summer ish.
Yes.
It could be springish, but summerish is preferred.
Not cold.
Not cold.
Island or beach.
Yeah. Somewhere where I can go out and actually still maintain a relationship with the sun.
Right. Where you don't have to wear layers.
Also.
During the day.
Correct. My legs are the brightest right now. Just
yeah.
Feel like I got nothing about it.
I got nothing.
I don't know.
I got nothing. I did say a long time ago someone should start like a mobile spray tan up here. I think the women would eat it up during the winter. Because people like to maintain color, and
white women like to maintain color.
Yep. Yes, they do.
The irony.
I
know. Oh, you know what I was gonna say? I was gonna say there was something else. It's kind of like irking me, but I'm not like mad about it. Like, feel how you want to feel about this situation, but apparently a bunch of women are okay. So I don't know this whole story. I'm gonna tell it in what I know, okay? Because I honestly I don't have the energy to keep up with all of it. So anyways, so I guess a bunch of young people, I don't know what generation we're at right now at this point, but I guess a bunch of young people are somebody said something, it was on the internet somewhere, that somebody was mad about Aretha Franklin's Natural Woman and that she should change the lyrics. Okay, first of all, calm down. That's number one. No, what we're not going to do is change a classic, okay? Because
you
doesn't identify. There are a lot. Okay, I just want to say, and I'm not talking about hurt feelings or any of that stuff. No, it's not even that. I just want to say that there are lots of songs out there that I don't identify with, and they get to be out there because they're an expression. They're an artistic expression of what an artist was feeling or of themselves or of, whatever. So however they want to express. And that song's a classic. And I actually quite do identify with that song. And I also identify with the Lizzo song, which I don't know the name of it off the top of my head. If anybody wants to throw that in the comments, if you know it, about being a girl. Like a girl, it's like called Like a Girl or something like that, right? And it's just like, if you feel like a girl, then you're real like a girl. I absolutely agree with that. But there are songs out there that are about being a man or about being, whatever. And we can't, so right, slow your roll, because first of all, Aretha is queen. And so I'm gonna need you to calm down a little bit. Okay, and it's a great song.
I don't understand what they don't like about it,
because
or what the issue is. Like, I'm reading the lyrics right now. Like, what the fuck?
And I don't think trans women have a problem with this song necessarily. I don't know I don't know who has a problem with this song, but I just kind of like heard it through the grapevine. So then the next thing, so this is fragmented as fuck. Like, if I was a real reporter, I would have been like, so then this is what happened, and then this is how it snowballed. But I don't know any of that stuff. But the next thing I saw, and These fragments are brought to you by TikToks that I have watched. Okay. So that's why. That's it. Next.
All right, cool.
Okay. So, the next problem is now natural women are like, don't call me cis, and like not SIS, but like CIS, cis, like cis female or whatever. So they're like, don't call me this. Don't call, what are the other terms? Oh my God, a bleeder. Don't call me a bleeder. Don't call me a breastfeeder. Like, anyways,
Please
things
don't do
that
those
natural,
things.
a natural woman, or hear me out, a trans man might experience. Okay. So, anyways, so there's that kind of argument going on. Listen, cis woman or cis female is kind of just like saying heterosexual female. It's almost the same. It's to me, like, it's just like scientific, but also I don't want like a man to be talking about, or anybody really. It bothers the shit out of me because partially it's very, very militant, and because that's how we refer to each other in the Navy. But also I just feel like I'm not a science project, and like when we're talking about everyday things, you don't have to refer to us as females. You can say women, right?
Yeah.
So anyways, but at the end of the day, this is a dumb fight, and I'm kind of mad that we're banging heads with trans people as cis hetero women, or cis gay women, lesbian women, that were butting heads with the trans community over something that's actually sounds like a lot of talking points on your favorite conservative news channels. So just, listen to Aretha and enjoy her for what she was, which was a goddess, or which is a goddess. I should enjoy those songs for what they were in their time and what they are now. They're classics now. We're not going to cancel Aretha Franklin. It's what we're not going to do. Okay.
No, we're not. And again, like you said, musical expression and, other whatever, like we don't tell me what to listen to.
If as an artist they feel right, and if as an artist they feel like, yeah, for my fans to feel comfortable with my songs, I'll change them. I think Queen Beyonce has done that. I think Lizzo has done that. But at the end of the day, this is again artistic expression, and we have to. Language is important. I agree with this wholeheartedly, but also we have to understand context and conscience of the person who is expressing this. If this person is known to never have been hateful about these things ever in their life, then clearly that expression wasn't something that was meant to be offensive. Right. And so maybe they change it, or maybe they don't, whatever. But, we can't just go around being angry all the time.
The whole cancel culture thing is a whole different topic and subject, and how people, try to, arm it instead of, it's just, it's like the new PC. Remember when everything was, is it politically correct? But
there was this whole uproar when what is that movie, Ghost in the Shell, came out, and it was with Scarlett Johansson, and like white women everywhere got mad about it, and Asian communities were like, no, she's a great actress. like pay attention to what you're mad about. Like, why are you mad?
And right, and what is look at the social everything, the communities you're upset for,
right,
and take societal cues, because if you're gonna get mad about that, then why aren't you mad about other things that really do matter? Not a fucking movie, like yes, I've heard different, and different anime boards would say different about Scarlet, and that's
Yeah.
their opinions, and so
Just your opinion, man.
what you like or how you envision it, well, that's not how the director or the producers and everyone that casted them, like
Name that movie that I just quoted too. Who can name that movie that I just quoted?
I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
I said that's your opinion, man. That's just your opinion, man. I know at least one person is maybe listening right now that can say where that came from.
Let's
just
let's
like unless somebody is being harmed, like active harm is going on, or active harassment or something like that, literally mind your fucking business.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's and I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Let me be honest with y'all. It's hard to mind your business when you've been told that everybody else's business is supposed to be your business. I'm talking to you, white women. Sometimes I want to get involved so bad, and I just be like, nah, that's not my fight. That's not my situation. I'm going to walk away from that. Sometimes, boy, I want to get involved. I want to tell somebody what's what. Then I just don't. You know why?
Well,
because I need to go fucking mind my business.
Well, I'm gonna use this as a segue, and someone that did not mind her own business was civil rights organizer Georgia Gilmore.
Oh, let me see if I have that pulled up.
She's the last of our 4 incredible Black women from the BHG.com article.
Oh, I have that pulled up already. I do have it.
Yeah, so her lifespan was 1920 to 1990. Georgia Gilmore was a cook, midwife, and mother of 6, known around Montgomery, Alabama, for speaking her mind and making the best pork chops in town. These assets would make her a key figure during the Montgomery bus boycott of 1955. As the boycott took off, Gilmore started selling fried chicken sandwiches to protesters and organizing meetings, donating her profits to the movement. Soon she galvanized a community of other Black women cooks to sell dinners, cakes, and pies all over town. Together, they turned their food into a tool of resistance during the 381-day boycott. Because many of them feared losing their jobs if their employers found out, Gilmore kept their identities a secret. She named the clandestine network the Club from Nowhere, because when people would ask where the food and money came from, she would answer matter-of-factly, it came from nowhere. Ironically, it was Gilmore who ended up losing her job after testifying on behalf of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and 89 other protesters who'd been arrested. Afterward, King encouraged her to open a restaurant inside her home and helped her pay for the equipment. It soon became a gathering place for civil rights activists of all races to strategize and feast on Gilmore's stuffed porks, one of Martin Luther King's favorites, and fried chicken and fish, collard greens, and pound cake.
I'm so hungry.
Yes. Oh my gosh. In a full circle moment, Gilmore's civil rights journey ended in the kitchen where it began. She died in 1990 while cooking for the 25th anniversary of the 1965 March from Selma to Montgomery. The chicken and macaroni and cheese she made were later served to her mourners. I think she would have approved.
That is, oh my God.
And so, this was Richie Holmes Grant was the article writer here. So thanks for these amazing women.
Mm-hmm.
Makes me why we are.
I love that. I want everybody to have the pleasure of being in the middle of what they love. And that's where we're done. And it's just, we move on into the next life. She died doing what she loved doing. And then the fact that they were like, well, we can't let this food go to waste. Let's eat her last meal that she was making. We're never going to be able to eat this again. It's like she was leaving them a little gift on her way out. That's so nice. I feel like there are pictures of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. eating cornbread in somebody's house. Like you could see the cornbread on the plate and there's like, all the fixings. I feel like we've seen those pictures. I don't know if that's like a Mandela effect or something like that, but I feel like we've all seen those pictures. Yeah.
I'd agreed. I do feel like that is, I mean, and it's not, what is the word? Not impossible. I'll say it's not impossible.
I mean, of course, his photographers were always there taking pictures, so I feel like that's totally a true thing. I have one more thing on here that I wanted to just share because we had it on a few shows ago and we didn't get to really talk about it. We did talk about it. No, we didn't get to talk about it. I put it on a couple shows ago. So anyways, here we go. I'm going to talk about it now. While we do talk about Black history, I want to talk about like amazing businesses that are being run right here in the present. So I think this is it. Yes. This was shared on Marnay Madison's page. See, look, I said using this. Thank you. I'm just gonna let you know I'm using this list. So these are 10 Black-owned businesses in the cannabis space. So we have the Healing Care Vortex Center in Philadelphia, which has cooking, yoga, and is like a B&B as well. So a cannabis-friendly B&B. We have 64 in Hope in Los Angeles, which is a cannabis dispensary. If you plan on visiting any of these places, then, maybe go check out these businesses. The Green Baker in South Florida with infused drinks, snacks, and meals. Celebrity B&B in Niles, which is a cannabis-friendly B&B. I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Herblo, right? Herblo Co. In Oklahoma City. That is owned, I think maybe owned or co-owned by Marnay Madison. That's her company. So definitely go check them out in Oklahoma City. Hella Black, Hella Proud, Philadelphia, cannabis and hemp products. Rooted Buds, Holler, in St. Louis, infused sauces, tacos, and more. Let me tell you, so good. So good. Pretty Women Hold Cannabis in Atlanta, which is hemp and CBD products. Best in Hosting in Phoenix, which is a cannabis-friendly B&B. And the Source Health and Wellness Livonia, which is a THC-free cannabis products. So they have other products that are, but they're just THC-free. So that is a quick list of 10 all around the nation. That's pretty good. Hit a bunch of spots. We've definitely tried Rooted Buds food. So good. I mean, amazing. I was in love.
And we've had them. We've had them on before.
Yeah.
Definitely check out our replays there, and we'll have them back again.
Yes.
For sure.
It's about scheduling. Everybody is growing right now, and that is amazing. But that also means that there's less time.
They also have the space, their actual event space that they're running, and so they've been really growing their women's events. I dropped off a case of magazines and such for their vision board party.
I love it.
And and they've
I remember
private they do private. They've done private dinners for couples, for receptions, everything. So great event space. Get in touch with them.
Yeah, they're amazing. Also, I want to give a shout out to Brennan England in St. Louis. He has the Cola Lounge in the St. Louis Cannabis Club. Amazing little spot. They just moved into a bigger spot. They're still doing a little renovating, but it's a downstairs accessible spot. They often collaborate with Rooted Buds and some of these other cannabis companies. They have lots of events, so definitely go follow them, check them out as well. So yeah, holler about that. Woo, doo, doo. It is time to advertise. It is time to advertise. The show is brought to you by CQLC, a compliance and cannabis education company, www.cq-llc.com. We're certified responsible vendor training provider in Colorado. So hit us up, customer service cqllc@gmail.com, 970-426-5985. We're in the process of putting together an event that's going to be a training event and also a hiring event. Hopefully we're gonna get
in Denver.
in Denver. So stay tuned for that. We'll let you know more details when we have them. If you want to follow us on the Cannabis Closet podcast, you can follow us on all of our platforms, solo.to/cannabiscloset420. Of course, you can email us cannabiscloset420@gmail.com. Speaking of which, if you know some lady glass blowers, have them email us. Tell us all about them, because we are trying to put together a show right now. We are in the process of putting together a show right now, and we want to talk to you, lady glass blowers. We want to talk to you. Come hang out in our Discord. You can find that link in the solo.to/cannabiscloset420. If you couldn't catch us today live, you can come back to Facebook. You can come back to YouTube. Twitch holds on to it for a little while. But you could also listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts, or anywhere that you enjoy your podcasts. We're on most of those platforms. So check us out, solo.to/cannabiscloset420. We're live every Monday and Wednesday at 4:20 Mountain Standard Time, unless we tell you we're not going to be.
Unless we're not.
Unless we're not. But usually we are.
Usually we are.
Oh, you know what? I forgot to post in Discord today. And I'm so sorry, you guys. It was a complete went right over my head. This show is also brought to you by Queen Kitty Seltzer, solo.to/Queen Kitty Seltzer. www.queenkittyseltzer.com is where you can find us, and you can find these wonderful cans. I can hear these cans moving in my new microphone. Should I like turn it down or something? Here we go. Pop this kitty, put it in your mouth. Yay, we have Nearly Naked, we have Bubblegum Burst, and we have Lemon Kiss. Classic. So check us out on the website. You can get the cans. You can also get some apparel, some merch. Go check us out, www.queenkittyseltzer.com. Woohoo! We just needed to do some advertisements. No sugar added to that Queen Kitty Seltzer. No sugar, no sweeteners, no yak in the back at all. Look at that. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom.
Places you can pick them up. So we added a new Denver location.
We sure did.
Cafe.
Sure did.
But here's our Durango Holla, Magpies Newsstand, Cloud9, Lively Daycon, The Roost, Animus City Theater. I need to change that.
Yes.
And of course, Durango Aesthetics and Wellness, offering her clients a can with treatment.
With treatment.
And in the mountains of Colorado, we've got Pier 13 Liquor in Vail, Bottle and Cork in Edwards, the Smoke and Bra in Frisco, and Dark Horse Liquor in Craig, and House of Vibes Coffee Shop in Silverthorne. So if y'all are out and about in Colorado, those are a place that you can pick up a CannaQueen.
CannaQueen.
Pop this kitty.
Put it in your mouth. You want a drink, but you didn't have a mixer. You want a little CBD mixer for your drink? Make it a kitty tail. It's a kitty tail, like a cocktail, without the cock.
'Cause we ain't got no cocks here.
We don't got no. Okay.
Solo.to/Queen Kitty Seltzer will get you everywhere you need to go to find our socials. Hit us up. We have things on it, and we've been having fun with it, and I think we're ready for another burst of social media. So
yeah, we have
fun with it. Get your merch, please.
Get your merch. Go get your merch. Go wear your Queen Katie merch.
There's
Tag
something
us.
for everyone. There's something for everyone. And help some
Help
some
sister
girls
out.
All right,
Hey,
with that,
that's it.
you
That's
ready?
it. We're talking news today. We're talking
Let's
some
dive
news.
in.
I got a couple of wellness stories that I wanted to talk about and that I've kind of been wanting to talk about for a minute.
Let's do it to it.
We kind of touched, make sure you guys are hydrating. Are you guys hydrating? We kind of touched on it a little bit in previous shows, but yeah, let's talk about this. So recently, let me do a share screen. Recently, there has been a study. Looks like it's in London. Okay, so this story comes out of London. The use of cannabis products is associated with symptomatic improvements in patients with headache disorders. Oh, you don't say.
You don't say.
Really? I have several friends who use it for migraine disorders. And when remember when we first started in cannabis, how everybody was like, oh, what? You have a migraine? You have a migraine disorder? Like it was kind of like made fun of from other states who had not legalized yet. Like other states would be like other people in other states would always be like, oh, what do you have, a migraines or whatever, you know?
But I think even people, think like that. If you've never experienced a migraine in your life, then you don't understand why it is useful. I mean, in the sense that thankfully I've only had 2 in my life that were debilitating. But my mom was a chronic migraine, sufferer and had to take prescription medicines. Our friend Serena, the Dragon Hooper, she suffers from them, and has tried everything, piercings, everything, even along with CBD in her repertoire. And so
I used to get them when I was younger, when I was in my teens and in my 20s. I used to get them all the time. And I mean, tunnel vision, and I had to sleep under my boss's desk one time. Like I was like, and like nausea, vomiting, all the stuff, like all the stuff. It would put me down for like 3 days at a time. And as you can imagine, in the late 90s and early 2000s, that was frowned upon.
Yeah, don't be sick.
Don't get
be human.
Sick. Like, right?
Be bionic.
Yeah. I would show up so they could like literally see what was happening. Like you want to see it? I'm gonna show it to you.
Right. There's no faking it.
I get worried now because sometimes when I wake up, I'll get this little like flashy light thing happening, and I'm afraid. I'm always so afraid that it's going to bring on like one of these migraines, and then I end up smoking, and then it's fine, and then we move on with the day. But anyway, so I mean it's like a real thing. So it's don't hate. British investigators assessed the safety and efficacy of cannabis-derived products in 97 patients diagnosed with migraine and other headache disorders. Study subjects were participants in the UK Medical Cannabis Registry. Each of them possessed a doctor's authorization to access cannabis. Study patients consumed cannabis by either vaporizing cannabis flower or ingesting plant-derived extracts containing THC and CBD. Researchers assessed subjects' symptoms compared to baseline at 1, 3, and 6 months. Cannabis therapy was associated with sustained improvements in pain, anxiety, sleep, and overall health-related outcomes. Fewer than 1 in 5 patients reported experiencing any adverse events from the cannabis. Most events were perceived to be mild. So like they probably overconsumed maybe, and they felt nauseous, or something like that, you know.
Or like we've talked about, in any study, if you report something, it could be to do to anything in your environment that could have
mhm,
caused that,
yes.
but because you're doing the study, they have to note it.
So while these results provide promise with respect to changes in health-related quality of life experienced by those with primary headache disorders, there's still a requirement for further RCTs, randomized placebo-controlled trials. Makes sense. That's like next steps to be conducted to understand the true efficacy of the cannabis-based medical products. So they're calling them CBMPs. That sounds like a whole tongue twister.
I
For this,
know, yeah.
I know, like, that's giving me a headache, for this indication. However, whilst these are awaited, the present study outcomes with respect to safety and efficacy provides useful insight to inform current clinical practice. So according to a systematic review of literature published in December, the inhalation of cannabis flowers is generally effective and well tolerated among patients with migraine. This is good news because, you know, patients with migraines know this already, but oftentimes, like, doctors and some research has said, you know, you don't want to smoke necessarily because other things that we smoke can cause migraines. But we're talking about cannabis, so could work differently. I know a lot of migraine sufferers who use smokables to manage the pain in the onset, and combine it with something that's ingestible so that it works the long term. So that's, I would say, suggested. So anyway, so yeah, medical marijuana has significant clinical response by reducing the length and frequency of migraines. No severe adverse effects were noted due to its effectiveness and convenience. Medical marijuana therapy may be helpful for patients suffering from migraines. So other patients that are enrolled in the UK Medical Cannabis Registry have diagnoses such as post-traumatic stress, depression, refractory epilepsy, and inflammatory bowel syndrome. And they've also demonstrated symptomatic improvements following cannabis therapy. So
It's not, I mean,
yeah,
without being noted that we have an endocannabinoid system, and it's not just about inhaling and smoking, and I think that that's where certain generations can't wrap their head around that it can be effective mode, but also younger generations can't wrap their head around the medicinal aspect of also doing oils and
right,
ingestibles that aren't
right,
sugar, um, and topicals. When I talk to people about topicals, it doesn't it clicks in their brain all of a sudden that it doesn't have to be a head high or
right.
a and to help us in the ways that we think that it should.
Yeah, I
People
think
are
the maddest I've ever been at an educator and nurse is when one of them was teaching just like a little 101 and talking about products that were going to be available to patients, and literally said, I don't think topicals work. And I'm just disappointed in that person because literally just because it doesn't give you that, like, I'm flying to the moon feeling doesn't mean it's not working.
right.
And
I've been, benefit of the doubt. I don't know. It's not appropriate because also, yeah, it's one of the number one things that I promote
yeah,
to patients that are unsure about cannabis,
and
because
we're
there
first, go
are
ahead. Sorry.
because there are not just topically, but as a transdermal, and I think that the education about transdermal use isn't necessarily out there as much either. But that you can, utilize this to manage pain as well. So
Results may vary.
yeah,
Little Bobby Custom.
and
Oh, it is 4:20 on the West Coast. Holla if you heard. Holla if you heard. Dance, dance, dance. Dance, dance, dance. Dance, dance, dance. Dance, dance, dance.
100%. Your results may vary, and I think that's also where people. Were you and I was it you or I, or maybe it was Carrie and I, but where we'll, in regard to Western medicine, you have to try this pill, try this pill, try this pill that doesn't work, this
Yeah,
one
we've
that
talked
doesn't
about
work,
this.
until you're allowed to, try cannabis or try something natural. But yet when we go to use cannabis, people will be like, oh, that one product didn't work for me, it doesn't work.
Yeah,
You're not going to try the other ways to consume it, or incorporate it into your lifestyle, so that it's not a cure-all. Like, your pain's not gonna go away in a minute, but add a CBD and cannabinoid lifestyle into your daily practice, and you don't think that's going to soothe your system. Like,
there's actually, so topicals work like icy hot works, right? It's a daily thing. You have to put it on every day.
yeah.
It works also without chemicals. It works for a laundry list of things like inflammation, pain, like surface pain and inflammation. It's used as beauty care for keeping your skin hydrated and healthy. And you can use CBD, I would say, in addition to a THC topical for potential skin spots and cancers. Also, you can use RSO topically for that. You can use RSO topically for if you see like a skin cancer, something that give it a go. And also use it internally. Use it both ways.
Different brands, try different products.
Read the ingredients.
But there are ones that I stand behind, and there are ones that I don't, that I've tried and it didn't work for me, but I know that it's worked for others.
Right.
Yeah, and so I don't discount anyone. It is, you have to try it, and if it doesn't work for you, then try something different.
When it comes, so what you were saying, I think that was us that had that conversation. But like, if you go right now to the doctor and say, doctor, I'm depressed, the doctor will start you at a low milligram of some random ass medication for that, right? And they will increase that medication unless there's some crazy side effects with that medication over time, to see how it's working, to see that it's working. Cannabis can work like that, where you have to increase over time. Also, there could be an adverse reaction to that. So then there's another type of depression medication that your doctor is going to start you on and start the process over with. Also, cannabis works like that. This didn't work? Great. Let's move on to this next one. Some are going to be, as when we talk about topicals, some are going to be too oily or greasy, or not oily or greasy enough, or whatever the case may be. So texture matters, all that stuff matters, right? And smell matters.
Whatever matters to you. Yeah.
So just keep that in mind. Remember that some of them are made with terpenes. So then that terpene action in your olfactory glands is also very healing, rather than just smelling like plant material, which sometimes they're good.
There are still some out there that do, and not that they're not effective, but you're going to smell like you just came from a trim job.
And maybe you want that.
And maybe you do. I mean, I love the fragrance. I mean, we have our hemp aromatics, like.
Yeah, I love it so much. I would say for your migraine sufferers, use more than one type of cannabis for relief. So definitely smoke if that helps you get that immediate relief. But then, like, do maybe like a little ingestible or something like a little mint edible or something. I don't want to promote sugar ingestion, but weigh the pros and cons of that if you want to just like pop a gummy. And then sometimes, just rubbing a nice salve right on your temples or right across your forehead or wherever you're feeling, where that headache is emerging in the back of your neck back here. And then, so topicals generally don't work like transdermals, and you can rub them in all of those spaces, but they will work for that topical, because when you get a headache, you do get like that surface pain too. And so all of those things will work together. All of those things to work together. Speaking of the entourage effect, I do have another study here that we'll talk about in a minute. But speaking of synergistic and entourage potential, we do have a story about that. He said, gummy. The only thing I think that we agreeably don't like about gummies is the sugar part of it, because sugar feeds cancer and therefore could potentially defeat the purpose of what you're trying to do in a healthy. I'm not dismissing, hey, if gummies work for you, by all means use them, but also be careful with your sugar content is all I'm saying, because sugar is in everything, so
It is.
So,
and if you're trying to heal, sugar, we like I said, cancer causing or feeds on it, and keep it where it needs to be, because a lot of vitamins are gummy relatable now, because that's the it
because we're
makes
children.
You want to take, yes, it makes you want to take them.
Because we're grown children.
We are. Do we really? Who forced adulthood on everybody?
You know what? We wouldn't do it ourselves, but I think some of us, I definitely do fall into this like weird category where I'm like, well, I don't mind that we do that. But somebody along the way, and it was probably like a millennial, okay, said, why did we have to stop taking Flintstone vitamins? Why do we have to stop doing that and start taking these crazy horse pills? I'm not doing that. Yeah, and then now we have gummies, and then the Gen Xers are like, I mean, yum. Like, I wasn't going to do it, but since you did it, we'll do it. I'll do that.
Yeah. I mean, but again, I will eat gummy vitamins because they are available and palatable.
My hair, nail, and skin vitamin is gummy. We all love gummies.
We all love gummies. I mean, just as a candy in itself. So it's like, well, I'm going to eat the gummy candy as well. I might as well eat the vitamin, right?
Might as well get a vitamin out of it.
At least one. But I also say that about consuming our edibles. When you are supposed to portion it out and know that, know your dose or whatever, or get to know your dose, but you really want to eat that freaking bar that tastes so good.
Right.
And it's like, you got to have the backup candy or the backup snacky, so you do not overconsume your medical edible.
Yeah. Have a backup. Definitely have a, so when I was young in the cannabis game, well, I mean, he still does it now, but my husband always made sure we had healthy snacks in the house. So there would always, at any time we were having people over, which, I was in college, so we were having like people over on the weekends, and then we would start downtown, but then we would be like, let's go back and smoke. What's up next? Blah, blah, blah. And then he would always have like a fruit and a vegetable tray available to us once we got super stupid high, so that we could like not eat the cupcakes that were medicated, and then like just like eat some. But he knew we were going to be like just killing it, because not only, first of all, I'm just like an old person in college. I was like in my mid-30s in college, and everybody else was like just turning in their 20s. They were young 20s. So of course, like all of these kids can eat, they can eat, and so can I. Like, challenge accepted. Yeah. But always not. I mean, sometimes you want the junk food. Sometimes you want the oatmeal pie and but
the
having
burritos.
healthy options is nice, because then we're kind of doing it a little bit more right, I guess.
Right.
I guess. So this story I found was really interesting. CBD and CBC combination possesses synergistic anti-cancer effects in cellular models. So this isn't gone to human trials yet. It's just on the cellular level at this point. The study was, of course, done in Israel and Jerusalem. According to preclinical data published in the Journal of Cancers, plant-derived extracts containing both CBD and CBC are highly effective at killing head and neck cancer cells in cultures. Researchers assessed the anti-cancer activity in 24 plant-derived cannabinoids in head and neck cell cultures. They reported that the administration of CBD and CBC at a ratio of 2-to-1 maximizes cytotoxicity of head and neck squamous cell carcinoma cells. I see why you abbreviated that. Authors also identify a similar entourage effect when CBD was combined with THC at a 2-to-1 ratio, but they suggested that the former combination possessed a more beneficial safety profile. Our research found that CBC to enhance the cytotoxicity effects of CBD, establishing additional support for the phenomenon of the entourage effect in phytocannabinoids. Considering the adverse I don't know what that word is.
Psychotomimetic.
Okay. Effects of THC. I can't say that word. That word looks, I'm gonna work on it. There is a clear advantage for favoring CBD CBC combination over the CBD THC combination for treatment. They concluded that this research suggests using whole cannabis extracts, we talk about this, which are decarboxylated CBD rich, to induce cancer death. So you want, as when we talk about getting RSO, you want as many cannabinoids in that RSO as you can humanly get. You want all of them. If that thing has CBG and CBC and CBD and THC, that's what you want. That's what you want.
And if it's not, and you can get your hands on those cannabinoids, then go ahead and incorporate those into
they're hard to get
treatment as well. So
right.
Yeah, it's like you see them on. I've seen a couple more on the shelves recently. But
the thing
is it trustworthy? I don't know. Not
it's very difficult to extract in large amounts.
Right. So it's like how and yes.
Yeah. Although cannabinoids possess well-established anti-cancer activity in preclinical models, scientists have largely been reluctant to try and replicate these results in a controlled clinical trial. So there's still a little bit of stigma sticking around there. According to a 2015 literature review, cannabis smoke exposure is not positively associated with the development of cancers of the head or neck. In a 2009 study reported that the moderate long-term use of cannabis was associated with a reduced risk of head and neck cancers. So there you have it. Not associated with those types of cancers. And also they're out there doing, studies for cannabis now even in the United States. A lot of our studies do come out of Israel and out of foreign countries to the United States because it's been illegal and remains illegal in some states to study, to talk about, to use, to grow, to do anything cannabis related. So yeah, this research is important because while anecdotally and as a community, we know that cannabis is a pretty safe plant alternative pharmaceutical medicine in a lot of different cases, or complementary to lower doses pharmaceutical medicine, or pharmaceutical medicine, excuse me. I was reading your thing and I was trying to talk at the same time. Pharmaceutical medicines. Even, even though we know that and we experience that as a community, they still have to do these studies. This stuff still has to be on the books. It has to be peer reviewed. It has to be replicated, so that we can say with certainty that this is the case for cannabis. And so, while we kind of laugh a little bit, no joke, cannabis works on migraines. We'll kind of laugh a little bit about that. In the same instance, we have to remind ourselves that if they don't do these studies, then it can all be taken away from us, because anecdotal evidence is not enough. It is complementary to scientific studies as further proof that these scientific studies are correct in their findings, but it is not enough. It's not enough. So, sorry about that diatribe on that, but anyways,
No,
the
I mean,
entourage.
it's
This was brought to you by the entourage effect.
and again, the THC being talked about, CBD it's like, can we not just focus on one or the other, and now it's this one or that one, and really talking about the whole plant.
Yes.
And understanding it, knowing that there are over 100 cannabinoids that we haven't even touched on or discussed, and
Yeah.
and even going into acid forms and dormant forms. It's like, it's a whole language,
Yeah.
it's like Lord of the Rings free version, where you gotta this one.
So if you come down here and you look down here,
and it
yeah,
comes here, you have the chart on your wall. That's where, and that's just the beginning of
Yeah.
it. And that doesn't get seen by legalized pot.
we got to make one of these with our logos on it.
I agree.
We got to make one of those, because that's pretty
yes.
cool. And y'all would want it. Y'all would want it. And we could focus more on cannabinoids and terpenes rather than some of the other stuff.
Yeah. I'm down. Let's do that.
Let's
next.
do it. Cha-ching. We're doing it. It's a great idea.
Yes, and this is the idea. It needs to go to the idea book, or onto the idea.
I got one more health and wellness. It's again something that we already are pretty well aware of, anecdotally, and with some scientific studies to back it up. Let me share the page, because I'm nice like that. We'll make sure that, so these articles are in the show notes, in the captions, and also they will be in the replays as well, so you can go check them out, and we'll probably post a few as well. This is in Germany. I'm not going to try to pronounce that. I'm not German. When I was little, I lived in Germany, and I had a thick German accent, and I could speak German in an okay way, not fluently still, even though I was a little kid. But yeah, anyways, that's not the case anymore.
Marla took German as her as a language to go to a different high school, to special assign to another high school. She does not speak German.
Who took a language in high school and you can speak that language fluently? Please send me shirt sizes and colors.
Small,
and I am relatively masculine in my style, in my color style choices. So mostly blacks and grays, and greens, And
Yeah,
sometimes gold.
green.
Small
Sometimes
though.
purple. Yeah.
Small in women's and if it's like a woman's cut, but like extra small in a man's cut or small, whatever. I won't be picky, honestly, about it. Yay, presents. So, okay, let's go back to this real quick. I got necks laughing, so that's perfect. I love it. Okay. The use of cannabis-based medicinal products is associated with significant decreases in pain and prescription drug use among patients suffering from chronic pain, according to data published in German Science Journal. I'll turn this down a little bit because I'm hearing it in my ears.
Schmers.
Schmers. That's a crazy name for okay, but maybe that means something. Can we do a
Yes.
what do you call it? Translation.
Yes.
Why can't I think of the word? A team of German researchers assessed the efficacy of cannabis-based medicines in cohort of 187 pain patients. That's a pretty nice little chunk of patients for the study. Over 88% of the patients reported experiencing either significant or moderate improvements in their overall condition following the initiation of cannabis therapy. I like that they call it cannabis therapy. It makes my heart smile a little bit. Participating physicians reported that 61% of the study's participants achieved substantial pain relief, 66% achieved better sleep, 34% achieved improvements in their mental well-being. Among those subjects who were taking prescription medications at the onset of the study, 65% ceased their use of opioids, 60% stopped using antidepressants, and 58% ceased their use of anticonvulsants. A finding that is consistent with numerous other studies. I'm going to assume this was under a doctor's care. So, like, stopped using them because they didn't have to use them anymore. The cannabis-based medicines can contribute to clinically relevant reduction in pain, sleep problems, and muscle tension, and can improve daily function in carefully selected and supervised patients with chronic pain. Cannabis-based medicines can contribute to the reduction or complete cessation of other pain medications, antidepressants, anticonvulsants, and opioids. This data was published earlier this month in the JAMA Network Open Reports, with nearly 1 in 4 pain patients residing in states where medical cannabis access is legal self-identify as cannabis consumers. Numerous placebo-controlled trials document the ability of either inhaled or vaporized herbal cannabis to significantly mitigate pain in various patient populations, including those suffering from HIV, diabetes, spinal cord injury, or with severe treatment-resistant neuropathy, which is nerve pain. The positive I want to say something on that before we move on. These positive results have been replicated in clinical trials utilizing relatively low-dose cannabis. I also want to say something about that in a minute too, as well as trials using plant-derived cannabis extracts. A 2017 report by the National Academy of Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine concluded that conclusive or substantial evidence exists for cannabis efficacy in patients suffering from chronic pain, stating that patients who are treated with cannabis or cannabinoids are more likely to experience clinically significant reduction in pain symptoms. Then they have a little link for the full text. This is at the Normal website. It just says by Normal, so it doesn't give a specific author to that, but those were both normal. All of those were normal stories.
Would you like to know what schmerz
Yes.
means? It translates to pain.
Pain.
So the Journal of Pain.
It's a journal of pain. I love the way the Germans think. Sometimes, not all the times. But that's fantastic that we have a journal. And then they diagnose the pain or whatever. They talk about how to, right? Probably they
Yeah.
put these studies in there.
Right. That's exactly. So what the other one was the Journal of Cancer, or
Yeah. The Journal of American
migraine.
Medicine.
Yeah. So yeah. Pain.
On that article, there were two things that I wanted to talk about. What did I say? I said I want to talk
HIV,
about that.
AIDS.
Okay. I want to talk about this because I have a acquaintance that has severe neuropathy because of HIV AIDS. So, but like every time I suggest it, like this person uses cannabis, but then won't use like internal cannabis. And here's the thing, if you have chronic, whatever it is, whatever it is, you got to do the internals. You got to do internal medicine. Your neuropathy is not going to, it might dull from smoking. It might be manageable from smoking, but it's not going to go, I mean, maybe in like the early parts of, but as it progresses, as your neuropathy progresses, or if it even does progress, like you could, if you're in the beginning, you could maybe, you know, take the ingestibles, the oils, the RSOs, which is toted for cancer. But like, honestly, it works for a whole plethora. It works for chronic pain. It, you know, some people use it, like I said, on skin cancer spots. So externally, some people use it as a daily part of their medicinal regime just to kind of stay healthy. So like RSO is very effective. And the reason it's effective is because it's whole plant situation. So that's what you're looking for when you're looking for those things. Oh, there was another thing that I wanted to say, and that was low dose of cannabis. So some people do, okay, but studies are starting to show, and there is some also, again, anecdotal evidence that's showing that low doses are actually more effective for a lot of patients.
I think so. I think I mean I would agree with that statement in the sense of you know, for some that feeling of being too high is too much, and they don't need to feel that way. They just need to know that there's an absence of pain,
Right.
Not that they're, you know, not that they're disguising the pain with a euphoric feeling.
Right.
And I think that that's what the stigma is, you know, offers them to a certain degree, or a past experience, you know, with a product that wasn't, you know, meant for their first, you know, first hub. And so that's the unfortunate part of adult use versus medicinal that never had to go through medicinal.
Yeah.
You know, we still have roots in medical, and so you know, dispensaries, and so a lot of, you know, dispensary agents are, you know, they talk about it, and then, you know, in new places where medical never really you know, got discussed or had a chance to thrive, it's just about the fire and the, you know, what you can get, you know, the THC content or whatever.
Y'all, if y'all ever see me walk into your dispensary and you recognize my face, please do not sell me, this is the most fire, this is the most dank. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it. I feel you. We can talk about it in a circle. But if I'm literally there to shop, I need to know what the terpene profile looks like, or at least give me an olfactory sense of what my body might need. They say your nose knows. Listen, if you smell it and it turns you the fuck off, your body doesn't want it. Your body is like, I don't need that right now.
That's not what I need right now. Not to say that you won't need it a different time. So always smell it again, next opportunity. But yes, agreed.
Yeah. But if you smell something and it just turns all your senses really the fuck on, That's your medicine right there.
Yeah,
Get
you
that.
know
Try
it.
that. See what that feels like.
Makes you
That's my
feel good.
recommendation.
Makes you feel good.
Where are we at? Okay, we're good. We're good to go. We have a couple of state stories. So national cannabis news. I'm not gonna put every article up on the screen. We'll just talk about it. But let's see. Let's start here because I know we have Oklahoma in the house right
Oklahoma in the
now.
house.
Oklahoma voters to decide on adult use legalization initiative next month. Next month, March
Oh.
7th. Mark your calendars. March 7th.
We need to have some Oklahoma representatives up in here. Do we think? Yes. We'll ask.
So there's a state measure legalizing the adult use. Now, this is a normal article, and so I'm going to say a majority of the time normal is for legalization. They were for legalization in Missouri. I'm for legalization, but if we're not doing it right, then I'm not for that, you know? And so I don't want to, I'm not talking no trash or nothing, but they tend to, you know, like they're for legalization. And that's the most important thing. Okay. So, sometimes they surprise me though. So we'll see what happens. The state question 820, 820, okay. Permits adults to legally possess and home cultivate personal use quantities of cannabis while also establishing a licensed retail marketplace. Those with past cannabis convictions or those who are currently incarcerated for certain cannabis-related crimes. We'll have to look at the state question 820 to see what that looks like and see if they listed that out, maybe. But would be able to petition the court, so it's not an automatic, to have their record expunged or have their crime resentenced, considered for resentencing. According to a just published economic analysis, excise taxes from retail cannabis sales in Oklahoma could yield $434 million in new tax revenue over the next 4 years. I don't know what states who are not legalizing are doing right now.
I mean,
why are you in? There's some issues. Do you mind listing them? What you think those issues are as a consumer, Kelly? If you don't mind. I mean, if you're like, no, fuck that, I don't feel like typing, just do that too. It's fine with us.
But also we would like to we do want to have a discussion. Maybe we can get someone next week. Or no, we have
yeah, we're pretty packed next week.
Yeah.
But maybe
we're talking about it today.
maybe on March 1st. Maybe. I don't think we have anybody. Anyways, what was I gonna say?
Oklahoma. 820.
Oklahoma.
Let's see.
I think we should definitely read that at some point. Because advocates for the question, the state, what are they calling it? I'm sorry. State question.
820.
SQ.
Yeah.
In July, turned in nearly twice the total needed signatures for the initiative. For the 2022 ballot, however, the Secretary of State took an excessive amount of time to ultimately verify proponents' signatures. Opponents of the measure then filed a series of questionably legal challenges, litigating various facets of the campaign, including challenges to the initiative's summary language. Although justices ultimately dismissed those challenges, they did so after time had lapsed for the state officials to include the question on the ballot, on the printed ballot. So it's so crazy, right? Why are you being a jerk right now? Like, because the prison system still exists. So for me as a consumer, nothing affects me, but somewhat like Missouri business licenses are strange. Well, now that's why we're here. That's okay. We'll talk about it, and we'll kind of look into it a little bit before you guys have to vote. So we can, but make sure. I always ask this question because Colorado is very privileged in this way, but we get the blue book, and then it tells you in layman's terms and in official terms what it's going to say, what's asking. So then we can make kind of an educated decision. Although I can't account for Lauren Boebert. I can't account for that.
We need one of those books for the regulations and reading our own cannabis regulations, because I'm dealing with a whole misinterpretation of paperwork. It's like, oh my goodness.
Make a Colorado blue book. All right, that would be kind of cool for cannabis stuff. Let's see, where did it go? Okay, so what does it say? In October, Republican Governor Kevin Stitt issued the executive proclamation calling for a special election to be held on Tuesday, March 7th, 2023. Look at that. A Republican doing their job. 3 snaps. It will be the only item on the ballot. This is the only question you guys have to study for. This is only one. This is the only question you have to study for. Oklahomans who are not yet registered to vote have until Friday the 10th. Passed. Sorry. Apologies. I hope you're registered to vote. I was like, what day is it? I have no idea. Residents can check their voter registration status or register to vote online via Oklahoma State Election Board's OK Voter portal. So you can probably Google that. State election. Oh, just Google vote in Oklahoma, and it'll take you somewhere important. The deadline for an absentee ballot is Monday, the 20th. So if you want an absentee ballot, you need to get that before then. Let's see. Early voting begins on the 2nd, and polling location information is available also on the portal. So pay attention, Oklahoma. You have some important decisions to make about whether or not you're going to legalize cannabis. Is it an overall good law, or is it complicated for
and not serving the whole?
He's not our friend. He's just greedy. Listen, okay, here's something, right? Sometimes people serve a purpose. Sorry about that. Sometimes people serve a purpose, and that purpose is to get us to a certain place. And even if their motives are a little off, let karma take care of that. Not my dog, but like actual life karma take care of that, because she will definitely do that. But then also, while he's greedy, and it's going to be a tax nightmare probably, if we look at it, it's probably a whole tax nightmare. It's also like, weigh the pros and cons of it. Weigh the benefit versus the deficit of that decision to legalize cannabis, even though the person suggesting it is doing it for greedy motives, or to hold that as like a line we won't cross. You have, like, that's the decision. Sometimes things happen. People do things on the surface to look like they are somebody that they are absolutely completely not, to win votes, to win love, to win whatever the fuck. And behind closed doors, they're very evil. They're very, like you said, greedy, right? And he's doing it in open doors probably. But what I'm trying to say is, what is the benefit of this greed? Is it legalization in the state of Oklahoma? And is it, I mean, the biggest problem that we have and why we would love to see somebody just fucking do it right is that legalization in every state across the board has left out our Black and brown brothers and sisters. That's the biggest thing with their rules about what you're saying is like a business situation. So we'll look at it and see. We'll look at it
Yeah.
and maybe talk about it soon. Hopefully. Yes.
So there's someone on the Ickety Tockety talking about it. Next time you see that, Kel, tag us so we can.
Yeah, just send it to us on the TCCP page or send it to me on my page. I'll download it and we'll post it and we'll talk about it. Yeah, but no, Oklahoma is problematic for sure across the board. The Republicans are very problematic. But when we're talking solely about this particular ballot initiative, ballot question, what are the pros, what are the cons, and is it worth it to vote yes? The thing is, not enough. First of all, not enough Oklahomans are going to know that there's a special election. And secondly, those who do know there's a special election are going to vote yes. Because they don't know. They didn't read it. What they will read is the question and that's it. And they will answer the question and they will move on with their lives. So
let's definitely read it.
We'll definitely read it. But we're not, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know that we aim to change anything that's going to probably happen because it doesn't seem like it was well advertised.
Right. But at least we can talk about it and
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Hawaii is an analysis. I'm not going to read this one, but in Hawaii, analysis projects adult use cannabis sales could create 3,000 plus new jobs, raise over 80 million in annual tax revenue. So go check out Normal to take a look at that or look at the show notes in the caption. You can click on that link and it'll take you right to it. But basically, the report estimated that legalization will create 3,375 new jobs and will yield nearly 82 million in annual tax revenue. So go take a look at that if you're interested in what's going on in Hawaii right now. This one. So I'm gonna read this one. It's about Kansas, like Kansas. And I'm just like, why can't? Okay, I have questions because okay. So this says Kansas House Democrat leaders new marijuana bill would release prisoners and expunge records. So they're already right off the top in Kansas.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for this though to happen because I feel like it's I hope that they allow outdoor grows, honestly, because it's such a waste of so much land. This is like, I just drive through there like, what a waste. Okay, so it's supported by a few dozen of his fellow representatives. The House Minority Leader Vic Miller, who is a Democrat, introduced a cannabis amnesty bill. It's a House Bill 2363. Again, we'll take a look at that. Sponsored by Miller, a Topeka Democrat, along with 34 other representatives. It will release anyone convicted of a marijuana-related offense from their sentence and allow the expungement of marijuana-related convictions and arrest records from Kansas records. The bill would go into effect on July 1st. That's such a progressive thing. I mean, he's introducing it okay, in the House. So anyways, it's just such a progressive for Kansas.
Yeah, they're saying immediate,
Yeah, they want to just get it done.
not petition for.
Right. Yeah, marijuana related offense. Done. You're done. It's done. It's all done. The bills, this is assuming they know where the fuck people are. Also, and who, like they can find records and shit.
Right.
Anyways, the bill stipulates that anyone serving probation, parole, prison, or jail sentences along with other marijuana related sentencing would immediately be released with arrest records and marijuana convictions expunged and purged from all applicable state and federal systems according to the bill language. It doesn't say legalize it per se, but it eliminates the serving a sentence punishment. I don't even know what to say. I'm kind of speechless about it. If they think that this is, I mean, they're putting a date on when it will happen. They're like, nah, this is when it's going to happen. Miller sees the legislation as something of a remedy to legislators' lack of action on legalization. While the bill's fiscal note isn't up yet, Miller said it could significantly reduce prosecution expenses. This sort of backdoor way of relieving people of the penalty. This is sort of a backdoor way of relieving people of the penalty. And in and of itself, it would save, in my mind, probably tens of millions of dollars related to those prosecutions in those incarcerations. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle have discussed medical marijuana legalization following months of information gathering on the structure, taxation, and other processes by special committee. A common fear is that new legalization bills will suffer the same fate as the Senate Bill 560, which would have allowed for cultivation, distribution, processing, dispensing, and purchase of marijuana and accessories. They use the word paraphernalia in here, but I mean, just stop it, okay? Because what? The Kansas House has approved medical marijuana legalization in 2021, but it died in the Senate with Senate President Ty Masterson, a Republican, saying that school funding issues were a higher priority. It's on both sides of us now in Missouri and Colorado and Oklahoma. So I don't think we should, as Kansans, be in a race for last place to do something concerning everything. It's like, we got it. He's like, it's an emergency. And it won't be long before we're the last to do it. And I think the people of Kansas are ready. The bill has been placed in the House Corrections and Juvenile Justice Committee. The committee chairman, Stephen Owens, a Heston Republican, said he needed to review the bill before making any comments. So that'll take probably forever. Vice Chair Eric Smith, a Burlington Republican, said he couldn't commit on the bills specifically, but felt medical marijuana legislation in general needed to be more thought out before he would approve it. I don't support the present way in which I don't support the present way in which they're trying to pass marijuana for use in the medical situations. Just the way he's saying it is making me uncomfortable. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm not against the use of THC for medical purposes. I think there is a medical need for it, but I think it needs to be done by professionals in the medical field, not by the average dispensary run by an entrepreneur. So then make it a mandatory thing that they learn about cannabis in the medical field, and maybe we'll have that conversation.
What state is it they have? I don't know if they require it but there's like nurses on site.
Yeah, some states require that, and they have no idea what they're talking about.
Right.
They've not committed themselves to learning anything about cannabis. It's kind of crazy. And also to be able to pay a doctor or a nurse to be on your dispensary staff.
Mm-mm.
What did you just say?
Right.
And that's that's kind of closed-minded, being that you're not going to say anyone needs to be educated. Yeah, like I said.
Missouri legalized recreational marijuana in November, with the product potentially available to purchase as early as this month. Kansas is one of 3 states left with no form of marijuana, medical or adult use, legalized. The other 2 states are, of course, Idaho and Nebraska.
Nebraska.
Does that surprise anybody? I don't think it does. They don't know. They don't know. I did have a doctor get mad at me one time because he was like, not all doctors. And I was like, yeah, well, I apologize to him or whatever, because he was right. Not all doctors. But now if somebody said that to me, I'd be like, well, yeah, not all men either. But like, we know, like, it's a fucking problem that most of your community doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. Like, you're like one of the few or whatever. Look at you all bundled up. It's fucking middle February.
I know my heater is not close enough to me. And
listen here. I know. Listen, the snow is just too much.
I think I'm getting snow right now. I can't tell.
I have a couple more, but we can save them for the news. I'll tell you. One is, well, I'll just read the headlines on these, and we'll just move on. Maybe we'll talk about this one a little bit later. Virginia GOP House lawmakers kill marijuana sales and psilocybin rescheduling bills that passed in the Senate. So,
ew, Virginia, that's ugly.
That's what you get for hiring Republicans. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how else to tell you all this. But if you hire Republicans, this is what they're going to do. They're going to take away women's reproductive rights. They're going to cancel cannabis and psilocybin. They're going to push pharmaceutical medicine. They're going to force babies to have babies. It's like, this is not anyways, I'm not saying vote Democrat. If you want to vote, collectively decide who else the fuck you want to vote for. Like, collectively come together as a group of people who are Republican, conservative types, but also there are people, I know there are some of you out there that are conservative types that also believe in human rights. Like, and like, you could like collectively decide to vote for a candidate of your choosing that is not a Republican candidate, is not a Democratic candidate, and really fuck things up.
Yeah.
So it would really confuse people too.
Right.
So that's a story out of Virginia. It's a pretty long one, but it's interesting read. And again, it's on our show notes in the caption. So go definitely check that one out. And then we've been kind of holding this story, so I'm just going to go ahead and hit it. But Argentina launches hemp and cannabis agency. They're launching a new federal agency to regulate the nation's hemp and medical cannabis industry in Argentina. Is it warm? It's warm there, right? It's warm there. I want to go there. Let's go.
It is.
Let's go there in the winter. It's warm. And then, yeah. So that was in the Ganjapreneur. And again, I think it's on the it is in the caption on the show notes for today. I've just been sharing with you guys what we think we're going to talk about. And so that's where you can find all of those articles. And hopefully we got to everything, which I think we did. I think we covered everything in some way, shape, or form, some fashion.
Yeah,
definitely. Let's see. We have some upcoming events. We have next week's shows are scheduled and ready. I actually need to reach out to both of them, but they're scheduled and ready to come on. So we have Good Times coming on with us on 420 on the 20th. That's on Monday. They're going to come on and talk to us about their edible line, which is Jello shots. And also I found that coffee shot. It's in there.
Oh, nice.
It's just liquid though. It's not Jello.
It's a coffee shot. Yeah.
Gross. Would you eat a Jello flavored coffee, a coffee flavored Jello?
Me?
Yeah, would you eat that? Would you?
I would try it.
Oof. I mean, I like the smell of coffee, but I don't drink coffee, so I guess. But it just sounds kind of like.
If it were like a mocha latte, not my typical drinking black coffee shot, no, I would not eat that like Jello. But like a, I don't know, coffee Jello.
Lil Bobby Customs, no. Lil Bobby Customs said no.
But I will
Absolutely
try
no.
this cold. You know, I would like to do the one that you have in your fridge.
Yes. So we'll make that happen, Captain. Before the 20th. Somehow, some way. We'll figure it out. And then on the 22nd, we have Deb Nash. If you're a Missouri listener, you may know who Deb Nash is. I believe she's out of Missouri, right? Kansas City.
I think Kansas City, yes.
So if you have Canna questions, have them ready. Have them ready, especially if you're in Missouri. If you have questions, have them ready. We're going to be promoting these shows for the rest of this week and into next week. So stay tuned. But yeah, make sure you have your questions ready for Deb Nash. She's going to be on. She's going to talk to us about what's going on. And we like to get different perspectives. We are definitely also focused on getting other representatives from other states here on the show. So we are working on that, I promise you. If there's anybody you have in mind, feel free to send us a quick note and let us know who that is, and so that we can reach out to them and get them scheduled, because yeah, we don't know who we don't know. That's real life. I just made that up. What's next? So like I'm doing pretty good, but I think we're gonna be a little bit late. But okay, I have two would you rathers. So my first one is pretty tame, and then the second one is pretty raunchy. A little bit. Okay, so would you rather have free coffee for life or free pizza for life? Would you rather free coffee or free pizza? We're going to find out who cannot live like they're like, it's free. I don't have to make it or pay for it. I've already told you I'm not a coffee drinker, so y'all already know. It's pizza for me all the way. I wonder if we get like different pizzas or if it's the same pizza, but I don't even care.
It just says free pizza. I'm gonna say pizza. I mean pizza.
Like any kind of pizza.
Any kind of pizza. Pizza. You walk into pizza, you get pizza for life. You get a badge,
yeah,
card, or
they're like, here she comes again. Here she comes again.
I do drink coffee, and I would still pick pizza, just because I'm a cheap ass about my coffee and make my coffee at home. So
you do make your coffee at home. I don't think that makes you a cheap ass though.
It does. I stopped buying coffee because I'm like out. I will on occasion, or if I am out.
Oh my gosh, Kelly said coffee. Coffee is the only caffeine she drinks anymore. She is. I love so much. I love you so much. She said this is the only thing I got left. So fuck that pizza. Yeah, so I would definitely do pizza. The other one is brought to you by Queen Kitty Seltzer. Pop this kitty, put it in your mouth. Quench your thirst with a queen. During sex, would you rather have a dog's cold nose on your taint or a cat lick your butthole? Look at your face. You're like, I can't believe you just asked that. I did.
Y'all got the trigger warning 2 hours ago.
So. I mean, you did. I told you.
You're tuning in late.
I told you. I told you it was happening. What the fuck?
Next, you weren't ready, were you? Even
yeah, I warned you. I was coming for you. Ooh, what? I've warned you all. Pick one. Cold nose or sandpaper tongue. She said, I'm just not participating. Yes, you will come on this vacation and you will have a good time.
I'm gonna go no cold nose. Like
Cold nose. Cold nose feels quick. It's over. What the fuck? I don't have any experience with this.
cats just have weird tongues. Like no.
Y'all need help. I am in therapy, sort of.
Not.
In between therapy. But
I do have some cat butthole artwork that I'm working on for Queen Kitty though, so
that's fun. That's fun. Y'all really not gonna play? It's cold nose all the way. Nobody wants sandpaper on their butthole.
Ain't much of a choice.
He said, "Tain't much of a choice." Oh God. Oh my God. I asked for that. So
on that note.
On that note, final thoughts. Stay, cold nose if I have to. Okay, you do. And that's a great answer. So a little recap. Things are going on across America, and it's important to pay attention to your local elections, to your local candidates, and who's representing you in the House and Senate of your state. So yeah, stay tuned for continued updates on those things. We have that show on the 20th and on the 22nd with guests. So we have good times coming in next week, and they're in Colorado, and we have Deb Nash coming, and she's in Missouri. And so that's going to be a really interesting week of show. We're looking for glasses for women glass blowers. So if you know anybody, have them send us an email, shoot us over a little chit chat, and let us know who they are. And if you need to catch us later, Spotify, Apple, iTunes, or Apple Podcasts rather, and Google Podcasts is where you can find us. You can also find the video replay on YouTube, Facebook Live, and for a little while, Twitch holds them, I think 3 episodes at a time or something like that. So yeah, go check us out. You guys, be nice to yourself. Put your mask on before assisting others. Super important. You can't pour from an empty cup.
Nope. Cultivate love. Bring it to you.
You like totally deserve love. If you don't believe that, that's what we're here to tell you. Everybody, even the shittiest people on the planet, should have like one person that is like, yeah, they're shitty, but I love them.
But I love them. And if you don't have someone, we will send you love. We believe in you. And as always,
stay lifted and gifted, as little Bobby Customs would say. We will see you on Monday. Our calendars for good times.
Set your notifications.
Set your notifications. Tell your friends. Share. We love you guys. Come check us out over on Discord. We're going to hang out for a second.